Hi. Just so we can say we did, let's bring everybody up to speed real quick. This is a 31 Ford Coupe. This is all the suspension out of a C5 Corvette. This is a Honda K24. My name's Nate. And this is the M word. Hello again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a day in the neighborhood. The last time we spoke, I believe we had just sort of managed this situation. Very loosely set our body down over our transaxle to kind of get an idea where we're at. Somewhere in that neighborhood. But before we get too far, check this out. Huh? Look at them. Hello, Ollie. Look at that there. Got some base model C6s for it. Got some 18 by 8.5s in the front and the 19 by 10s in the back. Because if you're gonna have cool Corvette stuff, you gotta have the cool Corvette wheels for it. And I think those little simple 5-spokes are just awesome. So, what we need to do next, I believe, is we need to figure out, we've still kind of got a big question mark as to whether all of this is going to physically fit in this space. So we've got our torque tube showed up as our C5 manual shift torque tube. There's all our front end steering rack situation, bricks, and all the cool parts there. Motor mounts, which I think are they're gonna turn into a thing. You just mark my words. So we got some chassis there that is yet to become one, but that's what that is. So what I want to do first, before we do anything else, is figure out if there's even going to be room. I have a feeling that torque tube is going to be too long, and it's going to end up with the face of the bell housing like way out here. That's my feeling, that's my fear. So that's why before we get too carried away, I want to stick the torque tube on here with a couple of bolts and see how far past the firewall it goes. And I would like to do that without chopping the firewall up yet. And if you look, I think you can see they're down under the hood on the outside. But all those screws there, I think we can just take this firewall right out. So that's what we're gonna try to do first. So let's do that. Okay, so that went pretty good. We have a few stubborn hangers on that I'm gonna try to grab with some vice grips and turn those out by hand. And when that doesn't work, I'm just gonna pop them off with the grinder. But our success rate was pretty good there, methinks. Carrying on. And that, as they say, is that. That worked out much better than I thought it was going to. I was able to drill those out. Those were a flathead, so I didn't think I was going to be able to land a drill bit in it, but I did. And if you'll, like, oh shit. It just did it a second ago, come on. There we go. So that's mostly out. There are a couple of rivets there, and there's two on that side that hold these toe boards in, but I think that's that. So I'm just gonna nip those real quick with the grinder from over here, and that guy should be out. Groovy. Okay, so I ground those off on both sides and kind of cracked this one and messed it up trying to drive the rivet out, only to realize that those aren't bolted to anything underneath. So the whole thing, I think, is now loose to just come right out of there. So let's see if we can just coax that boy right out of there, shall we? Some nice gentle calling, some pss, 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 and see if we can do something. Okay. Firewall. That's really all that holds that gas tank. Okay. Well, as a bonus, get a gas tank. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't anticipating that just falling out of my hands right now. I wasn't quite ready for this whole situation, but cool, I guess. Plenty of room now. Look at all the room for activities, guys. Okay, upon a little closer inspection, I noted that there are bolt holes along here that go to corresponding, come on, bolt holes along that top strip there. So it looks like when someone began the restoration of this car, they unbolted that from the inside. That would make sense because this piece is missing too. So if we put on our CSI glasses, we can see that that's just a bit where we started taking some stuff apart and then got bored or got tired. Again, we got some glass missing, but other than that, other than someone thinking about starting a restoration, this car hasn't been messed with too much until, well, I mean, obviously, someone's messed with it now, but up until then, it was really kind of unscrewed with. Anyway, just put the torque tube in and shut. Ta-da! That looks very cool. That looks very cool. And I think there's room for chairs. I think there's gonna be room for park some butts in there. I'm gonna grab the seats down real quick. I'm gonna throw the seats in there and see if they fit. Have I told you guys about the seats yet? I don't think I told you guys about the seats yet. Oh my God, roll the thing about the seats.
Right, so the thing about the seats. This car is incredibly narrow. It's only about 44 inches wide under the windows here. And the front of this transaxle is about 13 inches across, which leaves, carry the one.
My boy's wicked smart.
Okay, so that means like an upholstered, reclining type bucket seat isn't gonna work. There's just not any room for them to fit. We need to start looking at like minimalist fiberglass racing buckets, which is awesome. But I don't want the exact same boring black racing bucket seats as everybody and their mom seems to have.
Like who? Farmers? Who else? Farmers' mums.
Whale, whale, whale. What have we here? This is not a boring black seat. This is festive and fun. And it comes in a size that I think will fit the car.
And I even like the color.
Okay, you talked me into it. I love serapes. I just do. I've had them in personal cars. I've painted them on things for friends. I think they're great. And I think they'd be a perfect fit for this car in just every way possible. And the fact that the backs are red prismatic metal flake is just like the most delicious frosting on what's already the best cake ever. Cool. That's the best.
Well, it was always going to be tight, but holy crap. Look at that, you guys. I only scratched the seats a little trying to get them in, so that's pretty good for me. Definitely no extra space, but it's in there. And I think that's actually, we can work with this. I can work with this.
Okay, so I had filmed this, and this, and this, and this, of taking the front suspension, taking the leaf out of this front end and kicking it over in front of the car like I was gonna do some big grand reveal, like some big money shot of like, hey, there it is with all that stuff sitting on it. But all I ended up with was a hood awkwardly sitting in a place where it didn't really look like it fit. But since you guys have been so good and so patient and so following along, let me show you at least where we're at right now. Yep. Like it was made to go in there. Coolest, funnest seats in the world. There's our welded torque tube. Again, sir, I salute you. Thank you very much. Got a steering column mocked up and sort of sitting in place. I gotta finish that. Too much crap in the way. But as we sit right now, this is where I am. I'm waiting on that bender die to show up so that I can start tying this together with all of our chromoly tubing that we got. But man, doesn't it look cool? So I'm waiting on the bender die. I have some parts ordered that we can do some things before that gets here, in theory. So I have a couple things on the way. We can do a couple of things, or if worse comes to worse, we run out of options completely, we can build a bicycle. Anyway, this is where it's at. This is where we are. This is what we're doing. Still taking stuff apart, kind of, but I've started putting a few things together at least. Man, that K-motor fits in there nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Very good stuff. I'm excited. It's looking cool. It's coming together. There's actually a lot more room in here than I thought there was going to be. Very nice fancy little wheel with our centering stripe and our very happy dead guy horn button. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm digging it. It's looking kind of like a car. I mean, we're a million miles away from it being a car, but ooh, steering. Yeah. Yeah, we're a million miles away from it being a car, but man, it's starting to look like a thing, isn't it? Oh yeah. There's that money shot we were hoping for before. It looks very cool. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you watching. If you feel so inclined to do the things, that would be great. And if not, that's fine too. Come back and check us out next time, though, where we build that weird wooden table thing that the whole car is sitting on. It should be fun. Anyway, thanks for watching.